Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another series of the For Every Beautiful Body YouTube series. Today, we are joined by Amanda, who has overcome several traumatic experiences that left her questioning both her mind and body. Yet, through resilience, she found a renewed will to live. She discovered that believing in yourself is the first step toward true happiness, and that pursuing your dreams one step at a time can lead to achievements far greater than you ever imagined. Today, Amanda uses her story to inspire others, sharing a message of hope, perseverance, and self belief. Through her journey, she encourages people to start chasing their dreams today because, yes, you can. Hi, Amanda. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm very honored to be on For Every Beautiful Body here with my fellow Galaxy sister.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this beautiful introduction. I wouldn't have said it any better.
Thank you so much. No, we're absolutely thrilled to have you on today. And as you said, so nice to have a fellow Galaxy Queen on. You're doing amazing work. So we can't wait to hear a little bit more about your journey and kind of what your plans for the future are in this episode today. So, based on that little introduction, it was quite jam-packed, but do you have anything else to add? Can you introduce yourself and share a little bit about the journey that has shaped who you are today a bit more for us?
Yes, of course. Well, my name is Amanda van Wezel. I am Miss Galaxy Netherlands 2026, and I am very, very proud to be at the place I am right now in my life because my life hasn't always been easy. I've struggled with bullying from a young age, then ended up traumatized by being attacked by bullies, and then I ended up being traumatized by my own suicide attempts. And then I ended up in a wheelchair for 1.5 years, also due mental health issues. And that left me completely unhappy for like the most part of my life. And there was a point in life where I thought, okay, this is it. I will never ever be truly happy. And I didn't believe that life was really meant for me. So I just lived a low life. I didn't believe in my dreams. I didn't believe that I could do the things that I really wanted to do. And for some reason, there is a point in my life which is very clear when I got out of the wheelchair. I got diagnosed with chronic illness, and then I worked on myself for 2 years to make sure I'd be able to walk again, I'd be able to talk again, and to do the things that I want. But by that time, I was only able to do one Tuesday evening, and then I had to rest before and after all week for that own activity. Then I try to expand my levels and do a little bit more of the things that I like to do. For example, modeling was something that really, really gave me back confidence. And I believe that confidence is the basis of getting your strength back. So in 2018, I entered my first pageant, and this at this time I wasn't good enough mentally to compete, so I had to quit, which was always something that I felt very stubborn about because I really believed that this is something that I really, really wanted to do in my life. From that point, I learned a lot about myself. So I tried to see who I am, who I've become, what I want to be, and why, and how do I get there, and what do I need. So of course, first steps were to become happy and to be able to walk again and to be able to do just the little things like have a job, have a friends, have a social life because I was totally isolated because of all the problems I had. And when I found out that the things that I wanted to do, um, I was capable of doing that by planning little steps. And in those little steps, I felt success, and success made me more confident. And this confidence got me to the woman I am today. And why I am incredibly proud of that is that I am now Miss Galaxy Netherlands, currently battling a very, very hard fight in my private life with everything that I lost due to a fire on my upstairs neighbor. And I told myself, darling, you deserve the title. go make everything of it. If you believe enough in yourself and you want to show that to people that no matter what you're going through, then this is your ultimate moment to show them. So I'm now completely battling. I have nothing left, and yet I'm making the best out of my reign, out of my life as far as possible, because I strongly believe in me. And I strongly believe that everyone should have this belief in herself. A
Oh,
very long answer.
I absolutely love that. And, we welcome long answers here because we want to know more about your journey and who you are and what kind of experiences have shaped you into the woman that is sitting in front of me today and all of our guests eventually. So, thank you so much for being so vulnerable and really sharing your story. If everyone goes and looks on Amanda's Instagram, there she is doing amazing advocacy work. And I think it's so important to talk about things when, social media can be such a highlight reel and we can see that somebody's doing all of these amazing things, but we actually have no idea what's going on in their private life. So I really applaud you for sharing those vulnerable moments too and keeping it real as such. But yeah, thank you for sharing. And I think it's really important. The one word that came to mind through when you were sharing that for me is you have always been resilient. And resilience
Absolutely.
resilience is a big word that when I hear your story and when I think about you now, it's a word that pops into my mind because there's been so many things that you've had to overcome, and we can choose whether they break us or whether they make us, and you've chosen that path to see that light at the end of the tunnel. So amazing job to you, and I'm sure it took a long time to get here. So yeah, we're super, super proud of you as well. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazing. So first of all, we'll go in a bit of a chronological order, but you said that you experienced years of bullying from a young age, and I want to
Yes.
hear a little bit more about that and kind of what that journey was like for you, how that shaped you, and kind of how you overcame those obstacles in life, rather than, I guess, let them affect you, because essentially you are a totally different person today. So, how did you kind of get here from experiencing that?
Yes, thank you for the question. It's a really beautiful question because this is the depth I'd really like to share as a title holder. So, bullying for me started at a really young age, when I was entering my first school at age 4, and then we had 2 years good times, and then at age 6, so the third grade of the lower school, I don't know how you call it in English, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
um, uh, that is where bullying started, because I had this little group of friends and a new girl joined and she didn't like me. And I never really understood or knew why, but somehow she turned all the friends I had against me and told them that I was not good enough and my clothes weren't good enough. So that is where my insecurities really started to lift, and I started losing my identity because I wanted to try to fit in with those girls. And the more I tried, the further the path became us entered. Because if it doesn't come natural, it's not you, and people can feel when it's not you. So from then on, I really lost my identity. And then luckily at that time, I had swimming on a very, very high level, a very high competition here in the Netherlands. I was a winner of my provincials, and I was chosen to be. Thank you. I was chosen to be performing for my nationals in swimming, which was at this age a very, very big thing in my life. And that was something that kept me going until someone came there and started bullying me too. So there was no safe space for me anymore. And from up to that safe space, not knowing who I could trust or who I could tell someone anything at all, actually, I started feeling lonely. And Feeling lonely is one of the feelings that mainly slides in really slowly, but has the biggest effect on you because talking really is important.
Mhm.
So when I entered high school, I thought, no, I transferred from my basic school to another basic school because bullying was too heavy. That the head of the school told me that I was making the school so disruptive that it was better for me to go to another school, which I do not agree on because I don't believe that as a victim, I should have been the one being transferred. I strongly believe that the bully had to be transferred.
Mhm.
Um, there were several talks about it, but eventually this was it. I thought, okay, let's try a new school, a new me, let's make some friends. So I had this girl I got to school with every day. One day she fell off her bike. She told me, no, you should just go and move. And at a young age, I didn't really know that it was not good to actually go. And she was saying, no, my father is on the way. And then after this event, she started spreading rumors about me leaving her, me pushing her, which absolutely was not true because
Mhm.
I wanted to help her and she said, "Go, you don't have to help me. My dad's on the way. I'm fine. Just go to school." And at that point, my second school and my most precious sports were two unsafe heavens. Then I overcame that. I was like, okay, 2 years, I can do this. Eighth grade happened, I succeeded, and then got to my high school. And at high school, I thought, okay, now no one is gonna beat me because I am a new me. And then it happened all over again. So I completely lost it. I started feeling really depressed, really suicidal because somehow there was no way for me to fit in with anyone of my age. By that time, so many things had happened. I was stalked by the phone, stalked physically. People literally called me up and told me, hey, you should jump in front of a train, which is very, very harsh to hear when you are already thinking that it should be better if you're not there. So, with those feelings in, I'm sorry
It's
for the
okay.
noise, I don't know if you can hear it.
Totally fine.
Camping life.
All good.
In 2015, I really, really believed that life would be better without me, and I tried to end my life. By this time, I was saved, and I strongly believe that I was at that point saved for a reason, and the reason is to show the world how beautiful you can be if you stop trying to fit in and start being yourself.
Mhm.
So I started being myself. I started learning about me. Who am I? What do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to go? What would be my dream job and how do I achieve it? And then I started modeling and I started doing a beauty saloon things. I don't know
Yeah.
the right word for it. Um, and that really teached me like, okay, I can do things. I really, there is a place for me to fit in. And with those little steps, 2 years after my suicide attempt, I was like, okay, I'm getting there. I'm finding myself in a place where my laughter is real and no longer fake. And then I ended up in the wheelchair for 1.5 years. I had a conversion disorder that is a blockade in your brains, which is mental, not physical. So, neurologically, there's nothing broken, but mentally, your body just says, no, you can't move your legs anymore. You can't move your arms anymore. You can't speak, hear, or see anymore. And for 1.5 years, I wasn't able to move my legs. And from 3 months of those months, I was also not able to move my arms. So it was me and my brain. And I can tell you, that was no pleasure.
Mhm.
But I strongly believe that this is the moment my life was shaped in a way that I became who I am right now. Because the things that got me out were modeling, because it gave me a social life, interaction, compliments, confidence. And then after that, the confidence that I was able to walk again, I was able to overcome my battles. I had been battling for years, and I finally found a handful of friends that accepted me as I was, with all of my craziness and all of my weird ideas, like ever. And in 2018 was a very big moment for me. I met my partner, who is still my boyfriend, and he is someone who really opened my eyes and told me to stop seeing beers on the road, as we call it.
Mhm.
And my anxiety always held me back because I told him, like, oh, I want to be an actress. I wish to be somehow famous sometimes. I wish to compete in beauty pageants and all that stuff, but I'm not pretty enough. And he said, what do you say you're not pretty enough? So the surroundings I had were motivating me to show off what I had. So he told me, "Oh no, your pictures are absolutely beautiful. You should do another photo shoot. You should just go, just try it." And sometimes, of course, it didn't always go like in a straight line. It went up and down and up and down, and I think that's a normal pattern. And at the end, when you're feeling more sustainable, you will find yourself with a little less high and a little less low, where it's feeling more stable. And that is a point where you feel like, okay, I'm in my safe space again. I'm in my mind. I know what I feel, and what I feel is right. And what I want to do is really what I want to do, because I really started to believe that what I wanted to do was what I thought the other person wanted me to do.
Mm.
So learning everything about myself and teaching myself the skills to think, is my brain um, connecting to my heart, and are the words I'm saying really the words I want to say? And when I found that answer was yes, I believed that I was capable of anything, and I just started my journey. And now I am an entrepreneur. I have my own business. I have a partner who loves me. I have a house and a house holdings I can hold. I have a job, and all of those things I am so incredibly grateful for. I could not believe 10 years ago that this was my life right now. So that's from beginning to ending.
Yeah. What a full, incredible journey and story that you have. And as I said before, like it's so important to share these things. Pretty much all of what you said, I related to in my own journey too. Like throughout bullying, when you were going through all of those things, I pretty much went through every single thing that you did. And, everyone's journey
Yes.
might not be the same. But I felt really seen when you were speaking. So I know that everybody else that can relate will feel the exact same thing. So thank you again. Amazing, story and, story of hope, really. So can
Yes.
you can you share a little bit more? You've spoken about your the disorder that you had, and depression and suicidal attempts and bullying, and all of those are super traumatic experiences that you've been through at such a young stage in life. But you've recently went through another one yourself with losing your home. So can you can you
Yes.
talk a little bit more about how what you are comfortable sharing with what happened, but also how you've been through all of these super horrible things that no one really should ever have to go through, and then you've lived this life that you wanted to create, and then you kind of lost a lot again. So what has that taught you about resilience and yourself, and kind of how did you handle this traumatic experience differently from the ones that you previously went through?
So the short version of this answer is really to talk about it and have some people in your surroundings that can help you, because your environment with people who support you is very, very important
Mhm.
to be sure to monitorize your mental health. From previous traumas, I never spoke to anyone about it. The one day I came home, I was almost crawling because my leg was hurt and they kicked me in the stomach, so I wasn't able to walk up straight. And I was crying a lot, tried to wipe it away, and smiled at my parents. I said, "Hey, mom, I'm home. I'm going straight to bed." And they were like, "No, you're not going straight to bed because something is wrong."
Mm.
And by that time, it was the first time it was discovered that I was being bullied at my school. Um, Previous events before, I never spoke about it. And my parents don't know everything that happened to me, but those caused trauma attacks by feeling the anxiety. Pushing over in every social event makes you act different. And when you act different, people start feeling your vulnerability.
Mm.
And that makes you a really great target for the high school kids who are just, yeah, let's say it honestly, not capable of thinking besides their own mind. So what they feel, what they experience is their life, and they do not remember, know, or feel like what it is like to another person when you say something like, "Oh, your jeans is so ugly, you should burn them."
Mm.
Or when they pull your pants down or your shirt up or pull your hair, like they don't know how it will affect you,
Yeah.
because I hope for them they never been through it. And if they did, it's very often a self-protecting mechanism from becoming a victim to being the bully, to prevent yourself from being the victim. In psychology, that is very interesting. But to keep it a little low on, on all of psychological things, I'm happy to share that the main thing that is the difference right now between what's happening with me now, losing everything. Yes, I am sad. I am crying almost every night because I have lost my closet I got from my grandpa, and so much emotional stuff like photos, and of course my TV that sucks too.
Yeah.
But I talk about it a lot with people around me, and I also tell them, no, I am not okay at this moment.
Mm.
And yet I try to find the positive things around it. Okay, so what's the lesson in here? Why is this happening? What am I trying to achieve from this? Is it maybe my lesson that having everything means just having your partner around, feeling loved, or having your family around who can support you and you can talk and feel the warmth and support? Um, and maybe there is no lesson and it just happens. That's possible too. But by being able to accept that your mind is in a dark place, recognizing the fact that it is not true, because all the things my head is telling me right now, I know that's not true. Like, I am not ugly, I'm not stupid, I do not deserve to lose everything. Um, I know that, even though my mind sometimes says something different. And by knowing that your mind is not true, you fight the depression. And in this situation, you're on a flight or fight mode, which is a surviving mode from your psychological instincts. And this mode helps you to make sure that you survive. So my surviving mode is telling them, no, 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 don't do anything. While my heart and my head tells me, no, just go on with your life, do the things that you can do. It's okay if sometimes there are things you cannot do because that's just the situation. And as long as you talk openly about it, people will understand. And for some reason, I found people understanding, which was like a totally weird for me, because I never thought that if I would say no, that people would actually say, okay, no problem.
Mm.
Because in my eyes, saying no feels like the world is disappearing and exploding.
Yeah.
So my basic advice of becoming getting over the traumas and situation is: one, accept therapy, because therapy really works if you need it. Talk about it with your friends and family because you are not alone. And accept that if you are there, your brain is going on a survival mode. Know that the things that you are feeling are not real, and try to prevent it from getting worse by complimenting yourself or just recognizing.
Yeah, 100%. And such beautiful advice and points at the end here too. And I think something that I personally really took away from that that I want to highlight again is that no is a full sentence. You can say no to things. And
Yes.
I think that, pageant girls are quite high overachievers and we love to want to do everything. But yeah, I
Yes.
think it's important to know that you have to put yourself first as well. So yeah, love those points that you made. Love, love, love.
Thank you.
So, we've spoken quite a bit about your journey and who you are today and how you've become this person that's sitting in front of me. But you have actually built an amazing platform out of everything that you've been through, and that is Yes You Can. So, can you tell us a little bit about platform Yes You Can and what inspired you to create it, what it is, and if there's any hopes or plans for the future as well.
Yes, absolutely. So my platform, Yes You Can, has its own product line. You
Oh,
can't see it because it's
amazing.
getting
I
lit. Wait,
saw that launch
I will say.
too.
Yeah, so we have a product line which creates awareness. For example, this bottle is my etiquette here in the Netherlands. So many people of me get it because I try to sponsor people with it to be the support they need. And to every time you take a sip, your brain unconsciously thinks, yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can. Because sometimes you don't need to actually tell yourself or be aware because 90% of the things in your brain happen when you're unaware. So drinking from a Yes You Can cup or maybe a I Love Myself cup helps you unconsciously to become more confident. And that is something my platform is really built on because I am an advocate for mental health because of my story, because of everything that happened to me. And I really want to show people that with the right mindset and feeling like you are capable of things and believing in yourself, that you can do anything you want. And for example, I'm living my biggest life. I am chasing dreams. I am so happy that I'm able to do that. And I am now becoming the person that I really needed back then. Someone who just told me, like, okay, it's fine. If they don't like you, they don't like you. Chase your dreams. What is your biggest goal? Start small, make a plan. And that is something I would transfer now to every woman or every person watching my platform. So it starts with awareness. One is my interviews. I have interviews with many people who have success stories, who went through something and made the best of it to show the world that you're not alone. That is one. Two is my product line to create self awareness. And I believe everyone matters because 15% of the profits of this product line are used for fruits for the homeless shelter. Because I believe those people are not capable of buying their own fruits, and the homeless shelters told me that they really need it, but it's very expensive in the Netherlands, and that is why I chose this as my profit goal. And the other profits are used to help people achieve their dreams. So I'm not profiting like to get my own benefits. I'm just profiting to make other people create something. I organized a fashion show a few years ago where 20 models achieved their dream of being on stage. All sizes, all sorts. We had another show where I had people with a syndrome of Down walking my VIP round on stage, and they had the time of their life. And doing something so remarkable is fantastic.
Mm.
So that's the second thing platform Yes You Can does. The third thing is actually go into the depth by learning sessions because I think that awareness starts, but learning life skills that helps you create the right mindset also helps you to achieve your goals, because if you don't have the tools to go there, like however are you gonna start doing it? So that is the fourth thing. And the last thing is that I'm just spreading it around, trying to find sponsors, trying to share my story everywhere that I can, because I really believe that this was my purpose in life. And I recently started with having ambassadors. I have now 5 ambassadors preaching Yes You Can with me. And I am so honored that they each have a subject, like someone's talking about financials, someone is talking about a non birds brain damage. I'm not sure if that's the English word, but it is somewhere near it,
Yeah.
which was caused by not useful violence.
Yes.
I should also try to find the English word for that.
It's okay.
So he's talking a lot about that. So there are a few people really committed to preaching their subjects, and I am just so incredibly happy that this platform offers a voice for not only me, not only them, but a safe space for everyone within who's written their success story and who is not yet there but wants to write their success story. And being a part of that still feels unbelievable.
What an incredible platform. And what I love is as well is that in in life and particularly in pageantry, platforms are, usually a part of what we do as a queen. But what is most special, I think, about your platform is that you're really turning it into measurable results that have these all these different avenues that are really showing people that yes, you can. So yeah, I absolutely love what you're doing. Keep going because you really are making a difference. So congratulations with that too.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Now,
also really funny when people meet me, they do not say my name or my title. They always say, "Yes, you
yes, you
can." And I'm like,
can.
"Yes, you can."
I love it. I love it. Well, it's a
So that's really
catchphrase that
great. Yeah.
sticks.
Yes.
Yes, it's amazing. So for our
Thank
last
you.
little question, I've brought this in as a little addition in the last few episodes, but basically just in one sentence for me, can you describe what for every beautiful body means to you personally?
What for every beautiful body means to me is a voice to be heard and an inspiration to other people who deserve to make the best of their lives, because everybody is actually really beautiful and capable of anything.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Amanda, for jumping on today and sharing your story, your journey, and what your hopes for the future are. You have been through so much in your life, and being able to turn that into real action and purpose to help other people is exactly what I think a queen should be. So, congratulations on everything that you're doing. And we are so excited to follow your journey. And I absolutely can't wait to meet you personally at internationals in just a few short weeks.
Yay!
So thank you again so much for taking the time today to jump on with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored to share my story on For Every Beautiful Body. And you as well are doing an incredible job. And I can't wait for the Bahamas to give you a real time hug.
Yes, I can't wait. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words. And for everybody watching, I will pop Amanda's platform and Instagram in the description below so that you can make sure to follow her journey too.